Ain't
Don't
nothing.
say that. I'm not gonna give you a scripture of a Bible. Well, God told me.
Okay, so I was watching this podcast yesterday. Have you ever heard of Craig Smith?
No, I heard of
Okay.
Craigslist.
No, but this is his cousin. This is okay. So Craig Smith, I would say, I don't know how he was known before, but he came up on Def Digital when they had like a roast me show, and he's one of the funniest people on the roast me show. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so he does stand up comedy and all this stuff. He has a podcast, and yesterday's episode of the podcast, one of his guests was talking about how Black people were the chosen people that they're talking about in the Bible.
Absolutely.
And he was saying that a lot of the problems that we are enduring right now is because our race isn't being the righteous people that we're supposed to be. He's saying like we're so far gone to the left that things are never going to go right for us until we, you know what I'm saying, go back and submit to the life of the Bible.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. And it's so crazy, Quay, because I remember I got an Uber, picked me up to go somewhere over a friend's house. And he was a brother, a much older brother, and he spoke the same truth for that.
Word.
And he was he's a Muslim, I believe. And he broke all of that down, bro. And I didn't know him from Adam to Eve.
Word.
And he broke everything down, what you're saying, and much more.
Word.
How because we're not living our life as God way, right? Like in the Bible, I forgot what was that place God destroyed because
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, he told them, hey, you have to live a certain way and you can have everything you want. Word. And he still didn't do it. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. He said that that's why.
Word.
And it makes so much sense.
And listening to him, I was agreeing with him also. And I was getting frustrated with the other guests that were on the show because of like their rebuttals. You know what I'm saying? That their rebuttals were so like kind of immature, and I really felt like they weren't listening to what he was saying. They were trying to get him to point out like, okay, what God are you talking about? There's so many different gods. And he's like, I believe in the Bible. I don't believe in Christianity. I believe in the Bible. And you know, how the Most High put this word in the Bible. And they're like, well, who's the Most High? And you know what I'm saying? I see God in me and da-da-da-da-da. And they're going all around and all around and all around. And I'm like, yo, bro, y'all not listening, because I agree with them, because you can tell by the way that we act that we are lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Even me.
Even me also. Yeah. And not placing blame or pointing the fingers in any one direction. But even when you see like the current pop culture of where we are with all the twerking and all the molly popping and all the gun shooting and all the stuff like that, it's like, yo, we are never going to progress to the place we need to be if this is the way that we're going to act. Good morning, DJ MJ Beats.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I'll try to shoot you that episode to check out. Some of the things that they do was talking was like way far too.
Yeah, a lot of times it's like that, but it's just like what my mama would say: eat the meat, spit out the bones.
Eat the meat, spit out the bones.
It's truth in a lot of things, and where everybody say it's substance.
It is.
But certain things, some people they be like, well, you know, God black. You be like, yeah. And he had a ducktail. You be like, come on, guys.
It's in Leviticus. If you read Leviticus chapters 9 and verse 3, like he was,
like it's a brother that you put me on to. I can't remember his name. He's skinny.
Brother Polite.
What's his name? Brother
Polite.
Yeah. So a lot of things he say is super dope, but sometimes he sometimes he goes to the left. I mean, like, and God got a helicopter. I mean, like, come on, man. And sometimes, and you really listen to him, he'll make you believe it though. He's like, but no, look, it's right there.
he's a very highly intelligent person. And one thing that kind of annoys me about like the highly intelligent community is that they spend most of the time arguing and debating with one another instead of coming together and pooling their information. Like, yo, man, we could really do a lot of damage with what we know. But they spend the whole time fighting. It's like, come on, man. What we get out of this?
Because it's another brother. Because he was in New York. I think it was New York.
Pharaoh is a young Pharaoh.
and no, yeah, and he was arguing with these Israelites, right?
Yeah.
And they had the dreads, you know how they look. And man, it was such a deep conversation. It was to me, it was spiritual because it was anything that's knowledge that you can give to people. To me, it's become spiritual. And they was breaking it down, Quay, and I was all into it. And then they got hung up on this one thing I can't remember. And I'm like, brothers, y'all missing the point. Like y'all can disagree to agree. Y'all don't have to stay on that one point that y'all disagree on, because then y'all lose everybody. That's why we were saying they need to come together and be like, hey, because it's the same fight.
Yeah. Good morning, Aunt Christy. Yeah, just agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's there's another brother named Young Pharaoh. I like listening to him speak also. You could tell he does a lot of research and gets into all that stuff, but like him and Brother Polite will clash all the time, or him and the Hebrew Israelites will clash all the time. It's like, man, we don't need this right now. We don't all this dissension, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll try to go against Brother Umar or whatever. I'm like, come on, man. It's okay for you to be intelligent in a room with other intelligent people. It's okay.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'll be like, dude, I want to be an Israelite, but I want to tell them I don't want to wear all that heavy shit y'all be wearing.
All them bracelets, man. I can't do all of them bracelets. Like, nah, man, because the white man made them.
Chains and shit. And like, I'm like, dude, you ain't hot this summer. Like, y'all have a summer outfit? Like, this is ridiculous.
That's 9:07. Let me drop this intro and then let's get this thing started. Party
people. Cheesy. Unique.
Yo. What's up? Yo, it's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show. It's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show.
That was cool, right?
Cool. It's the Unique and Cheese show right here. Thanks for joining us this morning. KK is going to join us if she can. She had a meeting this morning, so shout out to KK. Yes, Aunt Christy, we can see you. Turn all the way up. We're going to have a great show today. We got special guest Shawn Antonio will be in the building. Also, Mikey Tableman will also be in the building. Like, not just one motivational speaker, but we're going to have two. We about to change our lives this morning. Oh, my goodness gracious. Also got a lot on our plate, so let's just get in where the getting's good. Going down this weekend, we got SWV versus Escape on for Verzuz. So for those that don't know, SWV, the New York New Jack Swing trio of Cheryl Gamble, Leanne Lyons, and Tamara Johnson. They were one of the most successful R&B groups of the 90s with hits such as I'm So Into You, Weak, Right Here, You're the One. They released two more albums in 96 and 97, disbanded in 98, and they came back together in 2005. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little biased more towards SWV. No shade to Escape. You know what I'm saying? That they're a 4-member group from Atlanta featuring Tamika Tiny Harris, Latasha Scott, Tamika Scott, and Candy Burris. They were discovered by Jermaine Dupri and released their debut album Hummin' Comin' At Ya in 1993. They got big hits like Understanding and Just Kicking It. I just feel like SWV got more bangers.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. Escape was dope too. They got some hits.
Yeah, they got
some hits, but
they got some hits. And not only do they have some hits, but they wrote a lot of other records for other people. Right. And big shout out to like Candy Burris or her. They got amazing careers. Right. So I don't know how they're gonna do it if this just based on their music. Mm-hmm. They got good stuff, but I don't see them going that hard with SWV.
Nah, not with SWV, bro.
Yeah, SWW to the B.
That's crazy. That was for real. Who did that? Right? That SWV.
Did he?
Yeah, that's for real. He did that, dude. That's for if you listen to it, it's his voice. You be like, damn.
Word.
Yeah, he did that, dude. Because you know him and what's the Teddy Roddy, you know, that's how he got in the game.
Word.
Teddy. Yes. And that was his first. He said that was his first recording. That SSWV. That thing. I can't do it, but you know what I'm trying to say. I
big
feel
shout
like
out
to.
Yeah, so big shout out to DJ Jazzy Lou's. Said once SWV plays weak, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So.
Weak in the knees, I can hard turn up. Pootie Pookin's in the building. What up, Pootie? Aunt Christy said Escape was dope, but SWV is way harder. I'm not gonna lie. I agree with
I ain't
Aunt
gonna lie. But on me, I'm just a fan to see it all. You know, it has to me. It really doesn't have nothing to do with that. To me, with this, it's just the love of the music. 100%. And them girls they all can sing.
Yeah.
You know, I hope they put some Jesus in there. You know what I'm saying? We get a communion section. Hallelujah.
Pass the plate around.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
going down. What is that? Is that Mother's Day? It's going down on the May 8th. So tomorrow's going down.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow because they know on Mother's Day people are gonna be doing the Mother's Day things. You know what I'm saying? So that's going down 8:00 Eastern Standard Time on the 8th. So boom, down and check that out. I'm also interested to see because since Triller partnered with Verzuz, they got these elaborate sets now, and they're putting together production. So it's
right.
And I think I'm spitballing. I'm just throwing it out there.
Ooh, don't spitball on me.
But I feel like after the pandemic is like over, these are going to be live shows that you could go to. So could you imagine seeing like Redman and Method Man versus actually live?
I would love that. I thought about that too. Like going there to watch that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's a concert. Could
you imagine Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Isley Brothers, full band setups on two sides of the stage or whatever, like playing? Oh, come on, man.
Unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. DJ Jazzy Lou says it's going to be a great show either way. True that. Christy said, I met all of them when they were kids. Jermaine Dupri lived next door to my auntie Annie Laura in ATL. Got autographed CD, the lipstick CD, but SWV is still a better group. Oh, turn up. Do you still have that CD, Aunt Christy? That'd be awesome to have that in your stash.
Right? That would be cool.
So that's going down tomorrow at 8:00. Be sure to tune in.
Look at her name dropping. You see my auntie name dropping?
She flexing. A little bit.
Jay-Z. My mama, she wanted to write it out. He wrote it for her. Because he lived next door to my brother.
Big Pimpin'.
Big Pimpin'. Scottie Pippen taught me how to free throw,
So one of the things I was sharing with Cheese this morning is comedian Michael Che has a brand new show on HBO that I was watching a few episodes of this morning, and it is hilarious. Che's new HBO Max comedy sketch show series is called That Damn Michael Che. It premiered on Thursday. The 6-episode series centers on different themes. Each episode is like police brutality, racial profiling, unemployment, falling in love, and so much more. I got the trailer for it. I'm going to show it to you, but man.
Father, I've sinned.
So, what's troubling you, son?
Everything, son. I don't know where to start. Did you guys do any looting during the protest? They blame black people for a lot of them places we don't shop at. I saw a boarded up Williams-Sonoma. I was like, that's not us. Let's just address the elephant in the room.
What up, Pookie?
Satan.
Prison stuff.
What's your password? White privilege.
Might be uncomfortable to watch.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop me now.
I don't want to get canceled by the liberal media. Do priests ever have to worry about getting canceled?
No, they just transfer us to another parish.
Is that dark?
So I just found out, what up, Pookie? I just found out about this show this morning when I was getting stories ready for this show. And I had a little time, so I watched the first 2 episodes. Let me tell you, when I say that this is going to be the next Chappelle show, I'm telling you, this is going to be the next Chappelle-esque type show. This show is hilarious. for people who are very like PC conscious, it's going to be super uncomfortable for them to watch this because he's going in. He is definitely going in. The first episode about police brutality, this stuff is genius. To me, I think it's genius. So I'm going to recommend that everybody watch it. DJ MJ Beats, it's called That Damn Michael Che. It's on HBO Max. They just started streaming it on Thursday. I'm two episodes in. I give it the thumbs up. I 100% give this the thumbs up for people to check it out. It is hilarious. So you can say that you heard it first from DJ Unique. Watch that show. Turn up. Now, you'll see when you see it. Now, I want to get you guys' opinion. I want you guys to chime in and I want to know what you think. Did you see the incident that happened in Florida?
A school principal in Florida caught on camera spanking a 6-year-old with a paddle. The child's mother reporting the incident. The principal heard chastising the young girl after she allegedly scratched the school computer.
That's too hard.
You better be glad you're not my daughter, because I would spank your butt all the time for acting like that. And I wish you would try to call the police on me. That's called being a brat.
Wow. The child's mother explaining to local media in Spanish why she didn't stop the beating.
Si yo lo hubiera hecho con mi propia mano, a mí me hubiera ido mal. Yo no sé, yo estuviera en la cárcel. Yo sacrifiqué a mi hija para que todos los padres se den cuenta lo que están haciendo en esta escuela.
Well, the principal is on administrative leave as the district investigates.
Wow. Okay. So
that was a little too hard, though.
Well, you're supposed to be like get a nice spanking.
I felt that.
Good morning, Mr. Victor Orlando. Yeah. So what do you think? Is that too much? What's up, young one, love?
Well. I grew up. I went to 52nd Street School in South Central LA. And Mr. Campbell was the principal at that time, and he had a plaque like that with holes in it, and I got plenty of swats back then. And then when I in junior high, I went to John Muir Junior High School, and then I used to go to the Boys and Girls Club Challengers off of Vermont. And Lou Williams, Lou was his name. He was over the Boys and Girls Club, and he gave me many swats like that too, the same paddle like that. So that's how I was raised.
So hindsight, looking back at it, is this too much, or is this what's this been going on? What up, Cheetah Girl?
I wouldn't want my son. I wouldn't like that for my son, but I mean, it was just a part of how I was raised at that point in time. I know times has changed, so you have to be careful. But the mom's was there, right? And she's
the one that videoed it.
Yeah, so I can't see nothing wrong with that because the moms allowed it, and the kids seem like, I know it's a fine line though. I would say. I think you can get to communicate with a child than violence. Because to me, that is a partial violence, right?
Yeah, that's traumatizing.
Yeah, so
no matter how you look at it, even if you
I know how I was raised.
I would imagine that would be traumatizing. So the children, she has other children at that school. So the children were interviewed about how their mother treats them at home. I thought this was a little far stepping. The principal or the school administration pulled the other students out of class and asked them, like, what happens at home? Like, does your mother beat you at home? Like, is this a normal thing? And they were like, no, our mother doesn't hit us. Like, this is, I guess, whatever this child did was so far to the left that, I'm saying, I guess they figured there wasn't much else for them to do. But this, they said she scratched the computer or something like that, which to me, I'm like, it's a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think anyone should hit children.
Yeah.
Hey, Salita. Did the mom didn't know what was going on? How didn't she approve it? She was videotaping it. And she told, on the video, it even said that, I don't know, man. I agree with you, Cheese. I agree with Cheese though. There's better ways to get your point across other than to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And DJ MJ Beats, she didn't stop at DJ Jazzy Lou. And DJ MJ Beats said it was an accident that cost $50 to fix. $50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because a lot of things my son do, it'd be off the wall, man. And I'm like, I can't see myself being a bully, because to me, that's me being a bully, because my mom's, that's what she did to me. Anything I did, boom, smack me, hit me. Instead of talking to me, trying to figure out why was I emotional like that, or why I didn't listen. You know, that, and so I try to do that to my son. I don't know if they say that's white parenting, or you know what I mean. I think it's not. I think it's just being a wise person and learning from the mistakes the other parents has done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, did it make me a strong black man and respectful? Yeah, it did. But at the same time, I think it could have been handled differently, because for me it was abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, like some of the stuff I was, come on, mom, for real.
Yeah. Cheetah Girl says the mom doesn't speak English, and supposedly she was in fear of stepping in. That's what she heard on other news reports about this story. I can see that too. And I'm not going to automatically assume just because she doesn't speak English that she's illegal. But let's say that it is a situation where she's illegal and she doesn't want the attention, because now if you put attention on it, then, you know, now she might be in trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But either way, when you said it was abuse, to hear that other teacher say, like, you better be glad you ain't my child. You know what I'm saying? I beat you all the time, and I dare you to call the cops on me. Like, who you talking to?
Yeah,
you
that's
flexing.
too much.
You flexing on a child.
Too much.
You so terrible. Tough. You talk to that kid.
Bullying
like that.
child.
You bullying that
it's
kid.
A better way to do it.
Word.
You know, love, man. That's not love to me.
Andrea said, went to an elementary school that hit you with paddles. Hawthorne Christian School. Beat that ass. Beat the Lord into you. Like, you're going to get some of this Jesus. You're going to get this Jesus in your ass. Turn up.
Well, that didn't sound right.
That's terrible. Selita says she noticed there wasn't cameras in there. Something about a language barrier. She recorded it, but something didn't seem right. Turn up. Chrissy said, no, James, I raised Vanessa the same way. I wasn't punching her all the time. We needed to break that flag. So I think we did that.
Oops, that's just one.
I just won. Quick little gut punch, like, just remind you who he is. I think as a society, that shows the brokenness of our society as a whole, when you feel like you have to beat these people into doing what you want them to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like a double-edged sword, because especially down south, man, that's a whoop-ass capital of the world. You get your ass whooped down south. That's just part of the status quo.
Absolutely. And that's where my moms and my grandmother would come from. But I think it's a slavery mentality that they were taught. So it just continue, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's the right way to do it. It's putting fear. You don't want to put fear in your kids. You want to put love and understanding and communication. Like, right? Like, it's
word 100%. Cheetah Girl says there are quite a few states in this country that allow paddling in schools, and they are mostly in the southern states. I think it's unfortunate that we spend so much time away from our children by sending them to like a school that maybe a lot of the time you didn't get to rear them the way that you wanted to, so they misbehave. So instead of, like you said, focusing on why they're misbehaving, it's when they get to school, you know what I'm saying? The teacher has a whole curriculum that they need to teach and all this other stuff. So if somebody's misbehaving, the fastest thing to do is either, you know, beat them, put them out, or whatever. And, you know, there's no time to get to the root of the problem. And that's very that sucks. That sucks. Because that hitting should always be the last resort. Like, I completely ran out of words. So pop, 2-piece. I'm just saying. Here's another situation. Want to get you guys is
you smoke dope, don't you?
You smoke crack, don't you?
Jump.
What's up? You're killing your brain cells, boy. You're killing your brain cells.
That's crazy. You knew exactly what I was talking about.
Oh, come on, man. I I got that movie tattooed in my brain.
Tell them what movie we talking about, DJ.
Well, y'all tell us in the comments what movie we talking about, because I know y'all know too. Shout out to DJ Jazzy Lou. Said no people other than my mom said could whip my ass was the neighbors. If they caught me doing something that she would be getting that I would be getting whooped for, then it would get whooped by the neighbors. Yeah. Understandably. Now, okay, granted, Young One Love is correct with Lean On Me. Granted, are there some times when you're doing something so bad you need to get your ass beat? You know what I'm saying? Let's say you hanging with your friends and y'all scraping, scratching up people's cars and, I'm saying, harassing a cat, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, are there things that you should get your ass beat
right,
for?
Auntie.
Cheese?
What? Still.
Because it's almost equivalent to going to prison. You know what I'm saying? You do something that's terrible and you get sent to prison. I mean, but there's levels to it, though.
I think
scratching a computer.
I think punishment. You take something from that child. And you talk to that child and you find out what was the good in that, and it's a learning experience.
Word.
Right. So you can teach them something, because we all kids, we all misbehave, we all do things that unconsciously we know. What's up?
Stupid. Chrissy's stupid.
But I think I don't know, because I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I don't know. My son is only 8. You know what I mean? And I grab him hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't even think that's fair. You know what I'm saying?
I would say our stepdad was rough with us, but I would have to say that anything that I was disciplined for, I didn't change it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would always get in trouble for, not participating in school or being disruptive in class and blah, 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 whatever. I would get beat for that, but it didn't make me not do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No ass whooping made me stop doing whatever I got that ass whooping for. So does it work?
They weren't whooping your ass good enough.
Oh no, we got our ass whooped pretty good.
Stop me,
because he didn't just whoop ass. He was. No, our stepdaddy was. Mark put that dude was a bastard, because he would fight us. We were like, geez, like it was.
She'll whoop your ass and then stop and do a Martin Luther King speech. That's like 2 hours, and you be like, okay, I'm good, but then whoop your ass more. Then say that I have a dream speech. It's like, seriously, dude. She whooped ass like it was fun to her. You know what I'm saying? And she would say, I'm gonna get you for the old and I'm gonna get you for the new. I'm like,
yikes.
What? I ain't even did it yet. You know what I'm saying? God damn. You're terrible, kidding.
Cheetah Girl said, I come from the old school. I got whooped as a kid to learn, and I came out okay. My sister doesn't hit her kids, and to see how they backtalk sometimes, I'm like, they just need one good whooping.
One good one, right?
Like a one good one. One good, like a right in the throat. What a comedian said, chop him in the throat. Yeah, real quick. Bernie Mac. Shout out to Bernie
my
Mac.
mama, she cursed at you too. I'm telling you, like you. My mama was no joke. She cursed you out and whoop your ass.
Word.
And curse. I'm like, this is verbal and physical abuse. I ain't gonna make it in this world. Like, this is just damn.
DJ Jazzy Lou, I can relate.
See the webs on you the next day. That's abuse.
Yeah, that's abuse.
Like that.
DJ Jazzy Lou said you had to. Did you have to do what Jazzy Lou had to do? They had to go out and pick up their own switches. You know what I'm saying? Did you have to do that?
And I was so stupid. I would pick out good ones. I was like, this ain't a good one. And I throw that one. I'm like, now
I got your back, mama.
Like, I'm dumb as hell. This is stupid.
I got your back, mama. You know what I'm saying? You go whoop my ass with the good switch.
Right?
All right, let's move on to this. Let's move on to this next story because we got too much to cover. All right, here we go. This is the story that you sent me on IG. The brothers punished by schools for wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts. Okay, so Jordan Herbert of Oklahoma says that her 8-year-old son, Ben, was told to turn his Black Lives Matter shirt inside out because the shirt was said to be political. However, in a meeting with the school superintendent, Herbert was told that children could not be punished for wearing Black Lives Matter shirts. Herbert says she sent her 3 children to school on Tuesday wearing matching Black Lives Matter shirts and with the reassurance from the superintendent. Her older son was not punished for wearing the shirt, but his 2 younger brothers were punished. 5-year-old Rodney was forced to sit in the principal's office all day long at elementary school. 5-year-old. He was a 5-year-old. He had to sit in the office all day long.
That's so evil.
Ben was separated. At the same time, Ben was separated from his classmates and forced to do his schoolwork and eat lunch in the front office at Charles Evans Elementary School. The school also punished Ben by making him miss recess and face the wall for 6 hours in the office. Ardmore City School Superintendent Kim Holland says that political clothing is discouraged, and sending children to the principal's office for breaking the dress code is standard practice. However, the dress code does not mention political statements. It only states that shirts and tops with sayings or logos printed on them should be in good taste and school appropriate. So this is where I have to say is, why is it so bad to say that Black people have the right to exist? Why discipline the children for wearing that? You know what I'm saying?
Especially
it's not
a child that don't really even understand. You can call the parents and say, hey, do you have another item for that child? Why are you blaming the child and putting them on punishment and suffering? That's terrible. They racist too.
Word. That's awful of what that school did to those students. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And why didn't they tell the younger kids what they did to the older kids? You know, if you don't like it, flip your shirt inside out. Also, there's clothes at the Lost and Found that they usually always give students to wear if something's not right. If somebody's not in the dress code, they give them stuff to change. But to do this disciplinary action to them, it's like you are adults attacking these children. And like you're saying, in 5th or at 5 years old, do you think he really has a full grasp on what Black Lives Matter means? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think it's actually a positive thing for these young kids to be amongst other kids, putting that image in other kids' minds. Be like, yeah, you're right, little Billy. Black lives do matter. You're important to me too, Billy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember working at a law firm, and Fridays is free day or what have you, and I had on my Martin Luther King shirt, right?
Yeah.
And I remember. And these were minorities. These were Latino people. They confronted me about my shirt and said, I don't think that's appropriate.
Like, hey, Holmes, what are you doing with that Martin Luther King shirt, Holmes?
Yeah, and I'm like, that guy was dreaming, Holmes. I'm like, I said, well, he stood for you guys too. He stood for every American person. Yeah, the fight was for African American, but he fought for just equality itself. And I'm like, I don't even know why would you even come to me and be bothered by this shirt.
Because Vato, he was dreaming. I got a cousin named Dreamy.
People are just ignorant, you know, and not trying to get the whole concept of. I don't understand it. Like,
I don't.
And then they go, well, some people don't agree what his stance was. I said, well, if they don't agree with it, well,
that's weird.
People.
That's super weird that somebody's like, man, I don't like what Martin Luther King stood for, man. All this equality and people being together, living as one. Come on, man. That ain't the wave. We ain't about that around here, son. We like segregation. Turn up. That's It's weird. A very weird.
I'm like, man, you guys sound really terrible right now.
Cheetah Girl says, when I wear my Black Lives Matter shirt, I just get stares and I be wishing I would say something to me.
Right.
Turn up.
Right on.
So this goes even further, because even with the Olympics this year, the Olympic Committee is saying no athletes are allowed to wear anything Black Lives Matter. Like, we not doing none of that political stuff here at the Olympics. We just gonna run real fast, jump real fast, and that's it. So,
Quite, can I ask you something real quick?
You can ask me everything.
So when did it become political to stand for human rights?
I don't know. I guess when they turned it into an organization, maybe. But I think that's almost the same thing as wearing like a Black Power T-shirt. That ain't about politics. That's about empowering people of a culture. It's just to me, it's sorry. It's just another way to shoot it down. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, that's political. You can't do those things. That's not fair. Like, you need to include everybody. You can't exclude people. If you start excluding people, then
is it a form of people being afraid of Black people standing up for themselves?
I think underlying, I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think it's been put in people's DNA to look down on the Black community. You know what I'm saying? And they're something's in my throat. What is in my throat? Turn up. DJ MJB said it became political when they used the word Black. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. And I don't know what that is. Like, you know what I'm saying? What have you been taught to fear? Because you know they've been taught to fear us. That's why little 14-year-olds get treated like grown adults. You know what I'm saying? Because we're constantly treated as a threat. It's like, come on, Crip Cuz. Come on.
They children though.
Yeah.
It's like me being slightly racist or whatever it may be, if that you could even be slightly racist. And I have these white little kids, and because I feel that they treated us so wrong, that I would treat these little kids terrible.
Word.
Like, how dare you? These are children, man. These are innocent babies. I don't get it. I don't get none of it. I don't get hatred at all anyway. So,
Christy, you are far too. Christy, I'm gonna need you to reel that in. I'm gonna need you to reel it in on Christy. You're doing too much right now. It's too early in the morning for that. She's doing too much.
What did she say?
She said I got hair caught in my throat. She's like, that's why I can't get in here this morning, huh? We didn't eat the booties like groceries this morning. There's nothing caught in my throat. Come on, Aunt Christy, that's too much. You are tripping. So Bill and Melinda Gates are getting divorced.
Who cares?
Really doesn't change my day at all.
Ain't nothing. Like if it was my bank account change, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Right? Like, we're gonna get a divorce. I'm gonna pay y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got $130 billion that we got to split up. It's like, Yeah. Now the one thing that let me know that there is different levels to life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We on our level of life, but there is a whole other level. Like, they had a meeting, like Melinda Gates and her children and their spouses and stuff. They all had a meeting together. They went to a private island that cost $139,000 a night to rent. And they was there for like a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is levels to life.
Yeah, because like that's like if Camille shoot me in the foot. I can't say, oh, I'm going to go on vacation in Europe. I'm going to be sitting right next to the person who shot me in the foot in a one bedroom. Like, damn. Like, that's when you know you got money.
Yeah.
Come on.
There is different levels to life. And that's their level. So.
And I told Camille when I found that out, I said, they rich and they didn't work out. I said, may God be with us. Like, God dang.
I saw a meme yesterday, and the meme said, the two richest men in the world couldn't keep their woman satisfied. What am I supposed to do? Because, Jeff Bezos got divorced and Bill Gates got divorced. It's not about money. It is not about money. Ladies, I don't want to put y'all on the spot, but it sounds like we can never make y'all happy. That's what it seemed like it's going down to.
Like, when I found out Shaq was divorcing his wife years ago, I was like, I know he got it going. I mean, I ain't trying to be personal and be judgmental. I'm like, what my chances? I can't dribble a ball.
Aunt Chrissy said, I want some of that money. I want to meet his old ass and get some, get a few hairballs for some billion. He can smash me for a couple billion. Like, you know what I'm saying? That don't make me gay. I'm not gay. That ain't gay. I'm working. I'm working. You know what I'm saying?
We all got to survive.
We all got to survive. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? By any means.
DJ MJB said both dudes were creeping. Now, okay. Disclaimer.
Did you see that
no
girl
one
he cheated on her with though?
No.
She had an
nobody.
I'm like,
Nobody should cheat. I'm gonna just put that out there. Nobody should cheat. Cheating is bad. Cheating is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they need to have an agreement or something. Put, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. When you are worth billions and billions and billions of dollars, there's got to be some type of freedoms that come along with being, you know what I'm saying, worth billions and billions and billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? If you got somebody that created this Uber company, you know what I'm saying? I think you should be able to knock a couple down every now and then. I think you should be able to be honest and be like, hey, look, Melinda, I met homegirl over here, you know what I'm saying? She got some real big lips and no teeth. I'm trying to get slobbed down, you know what I'm saying? I think she should be like, yeah, you worth $130 billion. Go and get your sloppy nappies. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
No, that ain't gonna work.
Why not? Okay, DJ MJB said, but would you hook up with the wife if you could get some of that money she's about to get? I would knock Melinda Gates. I'd be like, how many holes you got? I'll put something in all your holes. Let's
she
go.
Look cute from the side. Like she like cat corner, she look good.
Like this. Now she cute.
Can you get your face out the frame?
I would talk to KK. Where's KK? I wish KK was on here. I think KK will let me go hang out for a little bit, come back with that money. I'll come back with the money. I'll come back with a check. You tripping. You are tripping. I'm gonna get me some of that. I'm gonna knock Melinda all the way down. Turn up.
Yeah.
Christy said, why are you knocking them down doing the same? Luther says, creep, creep, creep. Christy's on one this morning. Turn up. DJ Jazzy Lou said, Bezos' wife with a regular guy now. He got it. Yeah, he got it made. I would love to be the sloppy second dude that just married the billionaire because her husband wasn't treating her right. I'll treat you right.
Yeah.
Until they start cheating on him too. And anyway. Don't cheat. That's what that boils down to. Big shout out to Travis Scott. Not only did he buy himself a new private jet. I was like, that's amazing. I was like, he make that much money that he can buy a private jet.
He sell out arenas, bro.
It's a nice jet too that he just purchased. And I'm like, okay, one of the ways he makes a lot of money too is with his festival, his Astro World festival that he does in Houston. And then, big shout out to Travis Scott, because on May 5th, his tickets went on sale for Astro World and 100,000 tickets sold in a matter of hours. The whole festival sold out.
And then all the side things he got, like with McDonald's, with Nike, his shoes, like he's doing it, bro.
Big shout out to Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. And it was really cool to see, like he posted videos on a documentary he had. Was that on Netflix? One of them things. So when he was showing videos of how when he was first doing shows and there was nobody in the crowd, and you know what I'm saying? So I commend that young brother for, doing his grind, keeping on his hustle and doing his thing. And you know what I'm saying? Congratulations for bringing Astro World back.
Yeah.
Christy, you tried his seltzer drink? It's good. Okay. Turn up. I don't really do the seltzer.
He's in everything. He's doing everything.
You know who else is doing everything too?
Who's that?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, what she do now?
Megan Thee Stallion is doing everything.
Okay.
Megan Thee Stallion is now partnering up. She's thickety thick. She's now partnering with Snapchat. So Megan Thee Stallion is teaming up with Snapchat for a brand new series called Off the Leash. The Snapchat interview series will be produced by Will and Jada Smith's media company, Westbrook Media, and it will spotlight the artist's A-list friends and their furry buddies. On Wednesday, Meg launched her doggy merch as part of the Hot Dog collection on her website. Even before I read the rest of this, can we get a round of applause for Megan Thee Stallion? This is genius. You know what I'm saying? How many people got animal gear? People spend a lot of money on their pets, like pet lovers. They spend a gang of money.
Stuff at the mall, I'd be like, come on. And they be walking, they be carrying their dogs. I'm like, God gave the dog 4 legs for a reason.
There's a little trail that we do, and one day I saw somebody pushing a stroller with the cat in it, and the kid was walking. I'm like, what in the holy hell is going on around here? Get that goddamn cat out that stroller! Like, what's wrong with people? What up, Zakia? So big shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. This is beautiful. I think it's beautiful that she's doing this. Get your money, girl. Get all your monies. That's what it's about. You get in, you get your
and
whatever.
She's beautiful too. Have you seen her with no makeup?
Yeah.
That girl, man, she fine.
Yes, she is. It's a beautiful woman. Beautiful, intelligent, beautiful, intelligent college graduate of a woman. You know what I'm saying? So turn up. And that she's taking a music break right now. You know what I'm saying? To kind of, put her ducks back in order, which I think is great.
Right.
Wishful thinking. This is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping when she comes out of her break and she starts releasing new music, keep doing the ratchet. I'm not gonna say don't do your ratchet. That's get your money. Pop that ass. People like seeing your ass pop. Pop that ass. Pop it until it can't be popped no more. But can you give me like 3 songs about not popping that ass? Like, you know what I'm saying? Give me some substance. It's like on 3 records.
Yeah, something that uplift the black women in the community.
Yes.
Or women in general.
Right on. Turn up. That's all I'm asking for.
Right on.
If you got an album with 15 songs on it, just give me 3. Just give me 3 with your ass not popping. An unpopped ass. You know what I'm saying?
But still do it on Instagram because sometimes I catch it on the feeds. She posted something the other day. I said, well, my Lord, I shall not want.
Look what God can do.
I mean, and that's why I try not to do the Instagram because I be trying to live my life the way the Lord wants to. And then as soon as you go on Instagram, here you go. It's like, come on, y'all. Everybody shaking ass. And DJ Unique, do you find that now people with this handicaps, and I ain't mad at them, this Instagram make them, they be on there like, they be having one eye, one nub.
With ass though.
I'm like, and you be, because I never looked at one nub so differently. I was like, this can work.
Like just put a sock on it. Just put a
like I see little people on there. They be like, I'm like,
why everybody
little got ass though?
They do. They thick because they so compact. It's almost like that God took them by the head and the feet and pushed them like this, and then the ass just and popped out like that.
They be working that little ass.
Well, why all they wrists like that? Like, they all got the like.
Because they DJs.
See, this is why KK need to be here. It's too much. It's too much. Where's KK at? Somebody get KK in here immediately. Anyway, so yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, and yeah, Christy, I know that is Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B's claim to fame. Turn up. I get it. You know what I'm saying? All I'm asking is for just a couple songs because I know that she's highly intelligent and she has more to say than look at my ass. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
It's gorgeous.
Yes. Anyway, so Triller is teaming up with SoundCloud to cross promote emerging artists. So if you know any artist that's trying to, you know what I'm saying, get put on, let them know that Triller and SoundCloud are doing cross promotion things. So Triller is like TikTok. You know what I'm saying? People can pick songs and make videos with the songs, and that's fun. So SoundCloud, of course, is one of the places where emerging artists put their music. So now people can use these emerging artists' music on their Triller videos. So it sounds like a beautiful thing. Sounds like a beautiful combination. So for all you artists out there, take advantage.
Right.
Take advantage of this. I'm trying to get through some of these stories before we bring on Shawn Antonio and Mr. Mikey Tableman. One of the biggest engineers in urban music, his name is called Mixed by Ali. So Mixed by Ali started out making like ringtones and stuff like that when he was in high school. And he enjoyed doing that so much that he actually invested in becoming an engineer. Now, this is another thing for emerging artists. If you ever needed to get your music mixed and mastered and you didn't know how to get it to an engineer, or you didn't realize how important it is to have your music professionally mixed and mastered by an engineer, you now have an opportunity to get that done. Derek Ali wants to give mixing engineers what he never had, known as Mixed by Ali in the music world. The 31-year-old hip-hop aficionado turned entrepreneur is one of the most sought-after engineers in the rap game. In late 2020, Ali launched his music-making platform, Engine Ears, meant to help producers, engineers, and songwriters. Now he's getting all these investments from people like Kendrick Lamar, Roddy Ricch, Russ, Mustard, DJ Khaled, YG, and many more. So if you go to the website Engine Ears, word engine and then ears, Engine Ears, you actually you go to the site, you pick how much your budget is, and then you can find an engineer to mix your music. I think this is, yes, it's super dope, and it's very it can be used for these emerging artists, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they record smack the way they're supposed to smack, get that radio quality sound. So for all you emerging artists and anybody who knows emerging artists, refer them to Engine Ears. I think I'm gonna try it out too. I'm gonna try it out too. Why not? It goes from like $100 to $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your budget is, that is the engineer they will give you. Not that those engineers are bad, but you know, Mixed Ali is like #1 in the game. He does like Drake records and stuff like that. You ain't gonna get him for $100. That come on now. Yeah. But anyway, engineers. I got 2, maybe 3. Wash your ass and brush your teeth for this week. The first wash your ass and brush your teeth is going to a Georgia man who has been sentenced to more than 8 years in federal prison for using stolen credit cards to live large at hotels and get limousines and go to production studios and stuff. And they did all this by saying they was with the Wu-Tang Clan.
What?
They're also saying that they were with Rock Nation. They're saying that Rock Nation and the Wu-Tang Clan going to all these places, popping bottles, turning up, all on stolen credit cards.
That's crazy.
Remember Polo G? We talked about that story maybe a few months ago. We talked about Polo G, like more people that was using stolen credit cards to live a lavish life. Why people think they can get away with this stuff? Hey, Erica. Good morning, Erica. I don't understand why people think they're not going to leave a paper trail and get caught. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like you're going to get caught, dude. You can't keep, like get you a couple of kicks, you know what I'm saying? And keep it moving, dude. You're going to get caught. You're doing too much. You can't live like this. The cards belong to you.
You know what I'm saying? And then how you turn it up, and that's like you parading around town, you know what I'm saying, with some women that ain't yours, and be like, well, I can't believe I got caught for cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's like having a stolen. You know, you stole the car, but you driving around picking your mama up, speeding, running through red lights. Man, this my car. Yeah. And then you get pulled over, and it's a stole. Like, come on, bro. Come on. For real.
Goofy.
For real.
It's goofy.
Come on, man.
Turn up.
Come on.
It's ridiculous.
Terrible. Terrible.
Burning through these, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost time for Shawn, Antonio, and Mikey. I'm getting excited about this.
Me too.
Okay, so big shout out to Will Smith. Did everybody see the post that Will Smith put on Instagram showing how he got super comfortable during the COVID times? What up, Drake? Real quick before we get into that story, Chrissy said, when I worked as a teller back in the 80s, this dumbass teller stole $10,000 worth of traveler's check. How she didn't think she was going to get caught for that? Aunt Chrissy, I don't know how she didn't think she's going to get caught for that. What's up, Dre?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Ooh, I got another story. My other wash your ass and brush your teeth is similar to that story. Hold on. Here we go. This one's even worse, Aunt Chrissy. This one's worse than $10,000. This woman tried to embezzle $1.5 million. Korean lady, turn up. The former comptroller for a Washington, D.C. ballet school founded by the Reverend Sung Young Moon's Unification Church has pleaded guilty to embezzling some $1.5 million from her employers to support a long-time gambling habit. Sophia Kim admitted to one count of bank fraud for siphoning the money from her employer, the Korvalov Ballet Academy. The felony charges carry a maximum sentence of 30 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $1 million or twice the amount that was stolen. Now, this lady had already worked for the Korvalov Academy for 20 years earlier and spent 2 years in prison for swindling affiliated nonprofit out of $800,000. $800,000. So before she stole the $1.5 million, she stole $800,000. My goodness gracious. Gambling is a serious addiction.
It's serious. That
is serious. What's up, DeMarcus? Good. Hey, good to hear you doing healthy and feeling better, DeMarcus. Turn up. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. How you think you're gonna get away with a sickness like gambling? No, that's a sickness. She got a sickness. You know what I'm saying? So this is almost like having a drug problem.
Yeah.
You got to get that money any way you can so you can keep doing what you're doing.
Man.
But what is she betting on? You know what I'm saying? She ain't playing no pinochle. She ain't playing no spades or nothing like that. She's playing some big time, maybe gambling on horses or I don't know. But it's ridiculous.
It's kind of it's kind of different. But I saw a story. I don't know exactly. Maybe I shouldn't mention it. But this lady, she checked her account and the bank mistakenly put like a few $1 million in her account, and she immediately like spent it, like bought a home, did all these things, and now they trying to make her pay it back, and she's like, no, that was in my account. So
you knew it wasn't yours, lady. She's wrong. You knew it wasn't yours. Even if the bank made a mistake, you know that money is not yours.
But they said they trying to say if she can't pay it back, put her in jail because she stole it. But she didn't steal it. By law, she didn't steal the money.
She did because it wasn't hers.
But it was in her account.
I'm one of those people that if I see extra in my account, before I go buck wild, I'm calling Wells Fargo to be like, hey, Crip, cuz I don't know what happened here, but is this mine? Because I didn't put that in there. But if y'all give me the green light, I'm going to turn up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say I'm part of the Wu-Tang Clan, and you know what I'm saying, give me some limousines. So I think it's stealing. Yeah. DJ Jazzy Lou said, "Did you hear about the girl and mom arrested for a rigged homecoming queen win? They hacked students' accounts for votes." What?
It's not that serious.
How ugly is your daughter that you got to, you know? You're like, hey, mama, I am the queen. I want to win. Why can't I be the clay? Baby, you can win, baby. You can win. I'm gonna make sure you win, baby.
Thank everybody.
Chrissy, I thought it was a bit much that they went to jail, but I guess it's for hacking. You can't hack into people's things, even if it's for something silly like homecoming votes. And what did they hack into? I would like to know, what did they hack into? I don't know what they hacked into, but I would like to know. Mikey just pulled up. Oh, 1 second, Mikey. We're gonna bring you in a minute, brother. 1 second. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the hacking part, I would say, is the thievery. And I guess you got to go to jail. But could you imagine how you in jail? Be like, what you in for? Hey, cuz I really wanted to win the homecoming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's my life. You know what I'm saying? I try all my life to win homecoming. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. I don't know. Okay, one more. But we'll do one more before we bring on Mr. Mikey, Mr. Shawn. To all my gay brothers out there, especially for my gay brothers in Georgia, I want y'all to be careful out there because you can't even get the D safely no more.
What happened?
Police are warning users of Grindr. Grindr is a very popular gay app. You know what I'm saying? That you go on to try to find the D. I'm pretty sure you can find it.
I seen 2 pictures of you up there.
Hey, shirt on or shirt off? You know what I'm saying? I ain't worked out in a while. Turn up. Okay, so police are warning users of Grindr to be vigilant after at least 8 people were robbed after meeting up for first dates with men that they met on the Grindr app. So they would meet the men at different places, and then at the end of the date, the guy would be like, "Give me your what? Like this is a stick up." One of the things was even so bad that the dude stole the dude's car. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. Here I am, horny as hell. Met somebody on this app that I thought was hella cute. I'm finna get me some D, and he robbing me at the end of the day. And then imagine if the date went good. Imagine the whole time you laughing, like this guy's so funny, I'm gonna marry him. And then you get robbed at the end of it. That's terrible.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Taking advantage of people, man. I tell you,
that's awful.
Yeah, especially innocent people expecting a romantic date or just trying to find somebody for the future in their life, and behold, they get robbed.
Word.
That's
awful.
That's awful.
That's all. DJ MJB said, at least give him some first. Lord have mercy. All right, here we go. We got two amazing guests joining us this morning on the Unique and Cheese Show. I want you guys to understand and take advantage of this situation. You got two people online about to come online that puts fire underneath people's asses to get their life together to the best ability. So if you got any questions, please use this next hour to ask all the questions you possibly can. I need you to wash your hands real good and then put them together and make some noise for Mr. Shawn Antonio and Mr. Mikey Tableman. Welcome to the Unique and Cheese Show. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Cheese, I like a dance. I don't know that they like it.
Uh-oh, you got that Shawn Antonio internet service again.
Oh, man.
Dre clap.
Oh, am I having a hard time? Okay, hold on. Be right back.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Mr. Mikey Tableman, if you'd like to introduce yourself, you know what I'm saying, to everybody here on the panel, we would love to meet you.
Absolutely. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mikey Tableman. I am a life coach / purpose coach, speaker, spoken word poet. I'm out here just trying to make the world a better place.
Ooh, I like that. Making the world a better place. DJ Dre, KK had a meeting this morning. We wanted her to be here. She wanted to be here too, but she had a meeting this morning, so she could not. Don't want to put you on the spot, Mikey Tableman, but as soon as you said that you was a spoken word, I want to hear something. Is there a piece that you got that on like a standby piece that you could just hit us? Okay, wait a minute. Let me stop the music. Stopping the music.
We just gonna jump right in. All right, so I got an EP coming out shortly. One of the videos that was released that you can find on my social media is called That Kind of Love, right? So we'll just start off like this. Woo! Man, I'm looking for that kind of love. The one that moves you, grooves you, consumes you. I want that Disney fairy tale kind of love. I want that love that gives me legs to walk out of the ocean of my emotion that I'm no longer drowning in sorrows. And even though my moods change and I can go from happy to grumpy to dopey to bashful to mentally sick and sleepy and sneezy, but you'll call the doc. That kind of love that has me explore new caves of wonder. And Genie, thank you, but I don't need any wishes because I found what I'm wishing for and I'm on this magic ride and this is a whole new world kind of love. And in this new world, if I was to go blind, I want a love that is so connected, I would still be able to see all the amazing things that life has to offer through your eyes. A love that is so balanced that the yin and the yang would envy that kind of love. A love that is two people walking in tandem, supporting each other's beliefs kind of love. I grew up on a millennial kid kind of love, you know, where we're best friends, but we fight like Ross and Rachel, but with no breaks. Up till dawn, sunrise, while we lie by the creek, Joey and Pacey kind of love. That girl meets my world and turns it upside down, and all my past thoughts on what I thought love was has been savaged. Kind of love. And as I get older, I just want a love that consumes my anatomy, that I spent days lost in the haze, McDreamy kind of love. More the half-ass kind, that kind that only you fill up your cup, and I'm left here like a vase that lies withered with empty because there's no water and it doesn't allow me any chance to grow. I've had that kind of love, I mean lust. I want the chance to rap on that Bieber holy kind of love. That shit with you in church and praise because now I believe in God kind of love. Choir sings heavenly hymns about this kind of love while the conductor loses it like Kanye. That I love you like Kanye loves Kanye. And I say that again, that I love you like Kanye loves Kanye kind of love because I ain't never seen anyone love like the way Kanye loves Kanye kind of love. That's my frequency. That vibe kind of love. That's that give it all up kind of love.
Finger snaps. Oh my God.
What a way to start off my morning.
That's a great way, man. My back booty just got wet. Like, oh my gosh, that was man, I want that kind of love.
You need to go wash.
That's that my back booty got wet kind of love. Turn all the way up.
Great morning to you all. Great morning. That's how we start the mornings, right?
Yes.
We start the mornings.
What's
up, Mr. Shawn Antonio? Good to see you back in town.
Great to see you. I just got back yesterday morning. First of all, I just want to say great to be back on the show. Great to see you all. Great to be with you all the followers, listeners. Thanks for checking in today. Our monthly check-in to crush May. I'm calling it mayhem. It's called mayhem. Like mayhem. Like we have an amazing month, right? Total play on words. That's what we're doing this month. And my internet got weird for a minute, so fuck that. I'm back.
Word. How do we make mayhem a mayhem month? How do we do that?
Oh, so it's really simple. And Mikey, you and I have a lot to talk about this too. Actually, this week when we touch base, right? So here's what an amazing month looks like. Taking all the habits, good, bad, ugly, everything that's not aligned with what you want for your life, getting rid of anything that's shit. So like the spring cleaning mindset I talked about a couple of shows ago, right? What we're doing is taking everything that's not you this month and getting rid of it. So anything that's based in guilt, obligations, shoulds, wouldas, couldas, all that stuff, right? We're getting rid of all that and only doing the things that align with what we really, really want this month. Like making it that. So what that has to look like is you have to look in the mirror today, right now. Like if you're home watching this or listening to this, right? Check in, look in the mirror and see who you're being today. And if it's not who you want to be, start being that today. Anything else that you really, we tend to play small in life. Mikey and I talk about this a lot. We have giant bats and we swing for the fences and we're always hitting grand slams, right? The way we do that is the people we have in our lives, the conversations we have in our lives, the things that we're doing with work and with play and balance and meditation and working out and all those things, fueling your soul. That's how you keep and make this a mayhem kind of month. You know those conversations where you want to speak and say your truth and you don't? This month, speak your truth. All the time.
Got it.
Yes.
Question. So
yes.
I like the baseball analogy of hitting the grand slams.
Yes.
What do you say to people that are comfortable bunting, just getting a base run? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hit a home run. I'm comfortable just getting on first base. Like, do you let those people just want to get on first base, or do you kick them in the ass? Like, nah, son, you want to hit a home run? Like, what do you say to these people?
So I'll answer it and pass it off to Mikey. We're gonna do this. We're happy hour this moment, right? 2 for 1. So I'm gonna start it off, Mikey. You wrap it up. So we're gonna start off with this. With people who are doing that, you gotta ask them. By the way, thanks for that comment on the shirt. It comes from The Hangover. I was in Vegas at Caesar's Palace, and if you guys see Hangover, it says, "But did you die?"
It's a good question.
Remember Mr. Chow? He goes, "But did you die?" Because it's so dramatic. That's a whole other thing I wanted to bring to the table. So thanks for recognizing that. But what you tell those people to do that aren't swinging for the fences, you ask them why. Why are you bunting? Why are you going for first base? What happened to you that you're holding back, right? There's so much we have underneath our soul. We're so afraid to really carry that giant bat and go for grand slams. So you got to ask those people, which I had an opportunity to do a lot when I was in Vegas, is why? Why are you bunting? What happened to you? Because we all grew up with huge baseball bats. All of us. Every single human born on this planet at 3, 4, 5 years old was swinging for the fences. But then something happened, right? Traumas, breakdowns, upsets, right? So I would say inspire those people to be bigger and better. Be there for them. But if they do want to continue to swing and bunt and miss and strike out, let them learn their lessons. It's their lessons. And from there, I'll give it straight over. Victor Orlando. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Orlando's on, guys. He's the gentleman from, Victor Orlando, one of the hottest Congo players in the world. Great to see you, Victor.
He was on the show maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he was on the show like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I love Victor Orlando. Victor, great to see you. So, Mikey, I'm going to hand it off to lessons, right? So, lessons. Mikey, take over on that one. All you.
So when it comes to lessons, like Shawn said, a big thing for most people is your inner child, right? A lot of people don't swing for the fence because the inside of them, that little kid is afraid because of something traumatic, because they don't want to be rejected, because they don't want to fail, because they don't want to have to start over. Most people look at this concept of swinging for a fence and missing as a bad thing. Yeah, we're swinging for home runs, but if you don't hit a home run, it's okay. Right? We're going to slowly get you there. It's a slow build. Most people realize you have to break yourself down in order to build yourself back up. We want to learn those triggers. We want to figure out what those awarenesses are. So if mayhem is not your month to hit that home run, maybe May is the month where you have hit your single, hit your double, hit your triple, slowly build yourself up so that in June we can hit the home run. We want to continue to grow.
Got you.
Most people are afraid to hop on, right? To get there, get to that first base, to pick up the bat, to swing and miss. Like I'm sure Mike would agree on this. I love failures because failures are so rich in lessons. You grow. Disappointments, upsets, all that stuff. It really does help you grow because that's where all the gold is. If you were just winning all the time, life would be boring, right?
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
You need the good with the bad. And like the one thing that as a purpose coach, as a life coach, and I'm a big mental health activist, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to take your time to step up to that plate. It's okay to learn those lessons. It's okay to struggle. And a lot of people forget that point. And it's okay to learn from those struggles because that's where the growth is. That's where the lesson is, just like Shawn was saying.
Now, for both of you, I have a question. Now, one thing, one night, KK and I were watching Intervention. And it seemed like a lot of the underlying things that caused a lot of people to go on a downward spiral is things like the parents got divorced, or, you know what I'm saying, the dad didn't spend enough time with them. I wanted attention from my mom, but I didn't get attention from my mom. When you guys speak with people, how often do you find that these traumatic things that send people down the downward spiral happen as young children, and they've been carrying with this majority of their life? Like
almost all of it.
Wow.
Yeah, Mikey.
Almost all of it. Like I said, the inner child is the biggest thing. It's that when we get older in life, right? So if you have an issue with your relationships, a lot of it may not have to do with an ex-girlfriend. It may have to do with a set of standards that you have put in for yourself. Maybe your mother didn't love you enough, so you're searching for love in your relationships to make up for that love that you didn't get as a child. Maybe you being told you weren't good enough by your parents and feeling like you couldn't equate to anything for them now makes you feel like you can't move up in your job. You can't be successful. It almost always goes back. So that's why working on your inner child, talking to your inner child. I talk to little Mikey all the time. There's a lot of healing I had to do for little Mikey to get me to where I am today.
Word.
So to concur with Mikey, to align with him real quick on that, that's a big truth, right? My little inner child, his name is Shawn. A lot of you guys that know me, you know I'm Spanish and Dutch. I grew up in Panama. And my inner Shawnito is a fearless madman. But then mom and dad got divorced at 6 years old. So at 6 years old, I didn't have the social, emotional intelligence to understand or ask the right questions as to what happened to mom and dad. Until I got to a place of understanding the dynamics of relationships. And often we carry our luggage, our baggage, and our misunderstandings as traumas that are our things when they're not. My parents getting divorced had nothing to do with me. Word. So when you're watching that show, Intervention, right, what happens as kids at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 years old, you see things that happen in life and you make them mean something about yourself. You define yourself by these things, upsets, actually successes too. We define ourselves by our successes. So, you win stuff and now you're like, oh, I'm good at this. So we walk around life with our traumas, our failures, our successes, and we carry it. We pretend that we're great when we're not. But when you're growing up, you don't know how to deal with it. When my parents got divorced at 6 years old, I didn't know how to deal with that. I just knew my dad was gone. I had to put a suit on and be the man of the house. I was 6. So the inner child takes over, and the ego and the super ego and then the identity that you form to survive your life get in the way of who you truly are. We form like a superhero. That's not the truth. The superhero is busy defending and deflecting, right? Like Wonder Woman style, bam, 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 right? So we're spending all that time defending and deflecting versus being in our truth. And it's a huge thing all of us have to confront at some point in time. A big reason why it doesn't get confronted is because people are just afraid. We are all afraid to deal with ourselves and live the truth and be responsible for nonstop grand slams. Mikey and I sleep very well every night because we're exhausted from grand slamming all day. And it's awesome. It's awesome, right? And sometimes we miss, and it's awesome. We talk about the misses and where we didn't show up, where we didn't practice. It's all like this. Life is a practice every day. So it's a big answer from us both.
Now it's okay. So I don't want to sound harsh or cruel, but are we spoiled kind of in a way as children? Let's say you grow up in a household, you do have your mom and your dad, but like your dad works all the time and he's like an old school dad. I want the big piece of chicken. I provide blah, 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 but I'm not going to sit around and talk to you and hold your hand. I'm just not that kind of person. So somebody grows up like, my daddy didn't love me because he didn't spend time with me. Like, is that being spoiled? Like, you know what I'm saying? He provided for you and he gave you, you know what I'm saying, everything that you needed to survive. Why does he need to pat you on your ass too? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, Mikey, I'm gonna hand this off to you really quickly. So go ahead, go for it.
It's a catch-22 because yes, you were given the things that you needed to survive. You had clothes on your back, you had food in your mouth. However, we're human beings. We need intimacy. We need emotion. So as that person grows up, they might have a problem now thinking, okay, this is what it's like being a man. I just have to provide. But now when you get into a relationship or when you have kids, I mean, anybody knows who's in a relationship now, especially like, I want to be intimate with my woman. I want to make sure that she knows I love her dearly. And it's a different type of love language. So then also with your kids, your kids might grow up the same way, and then they might feel like they can't be loved. So it's a real catch-22 in that aspect. But I mean, you got to be grateful for what you have. And I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is, my parents are just people. They were human beings too.
Word.
They're doing the best they could with what they had, and you have to accept people for how they are. And there comes a point in your life where you have to grow up and become responsible. Just because something happened to you, maybe it might not be your fault. However, it is your responsibility to get your shit together, to work on your traumas, to figure out your love languages, to figure out how you want to be as a human being.
Got you. So do you think like if you guys have any clients that are single and like not dating yet, especially for the male clients, is there a way to like train them and get them focused and get them to like, look, you have a big role that you are about to fill right now. Not only are you traditionally expected to provide and protect, now you have to, you know what I'm saying, be this emotional being too and provide that. That's a big responsibility, and that's a lot of work for one person to wear all those hats and all those shoes and things. Like, is there a way to prep somebody for that?
Oh, 100%. The way to jump into that and to add to it, like you said earlier, is that there's a lack of intimacy missing in our culture when it comes to men into families, into relationships. There's a lack of us understanding ourselves enough to not only just provide, have a big piece of chicken, all that male ego, which by the way, it's completely run by male ego. Like, look, I'm the big badass man. I do this stuff. It's really about learning to be really peaceful within yourself and sharing your emotions. There's a big breakdown in people not sharing their emotions and what's really going on for them underneath it all. So it's, for as much as you say, the way you presented it, Unique was like, it's a big responsibility. It's our responsibility to show our families, the people we're in relationship with, all of who we are, all of what we know and all of what we don't know. And our job is to grow every day, no matter what you're being, to be a bigger, better version of yourself every day by learning more. So one of the biggest things I've been campaigning on a lot the past couple months with all my male clients who are dating, not dating, in relationship, married, divorced, whatever status they are, is what's really going on inside. Because from all my female clients, I'm getting a lot of complaints about their men, or my lesbian clients, or my gay clients. Their partners aren't sharing what's really going on for them. And that's where we disconnect. That's where we fall apart. That's where things get frayed and we're not on the same page. I'm helping a client right now, 2 clients I coach, a male and female. I'm helping them successfully break up after 4 years and 8 months. And we're having a completion conversation next week, Wednesday, about the 4 years and 8 months so they can successfully break up. And look at what was missing for them both, almost like reviewing the tape of 4 years and 8 months and what worked, what didn't work, and what was missing, so they can both be better humans. And often we don't stop to do that. So it's a big breakdown in society. So I'm committed to breaking through. We have to be better about sharing what's going on in our heads and in our hearts. We have to learn to let go of our traumas.
There was something that you said too that I definitely wanted to go back and touch on when you said, you're wearing the responsibility of a lot of hats. I think over time, especially as men, we don't like to be vulnerable. We like to be a certain way. But when it comes to a relationship, I don't think it's wearing a lot of hats. I think we have fallen to this concept that, there's so much we have to do. But if you're in a relationship and you're intimate with somebody and that is your person, you're not wearing too many hats. That's what comes with the relationship. If you can't handle that, then you got a lot of self-work to do before you should even think about being in a relationship. If you go in, you don't go half-assed. It's not cool to do to the other person. That's not cool if somebody's going, like everybody says communication is the most important part of a relationship. It's not. It's the second most important part. Reciprocation is, because I can communicate with you until I'm blue in the face. But if you're not understanding what I'm saying and reciprocating what I need to the capacity I need it at, then this is going to work. So it's not too many hats. That's what comes with the relationship. And I think as a society, we've lost touch with that.
Word. So how do you teach the unintimate how to be more intimate?
Ooh, Mikey, get it.
DJ Dre, I love what you just said about sometimes guys feel this emotional side makes us weak. That's what's got to change. It's not weak showing emotion. It's actually a lot of strength to show your emotion. It's a lot of strength to be vulnerable. It's a lot of strength to be honest. We need to break down this society standard that men have to be this certain way. Yo, get in touch with your feminine side. It is okay.
Now,
beyond okay, it grows us. Our feminine side is part of who we are. We have to learn the balance, right? And I like what you pointed out, what Dre said about being weak. It's not weak. It's actually showing your truth about what you know and what you don't know. And that doesn't show anything else but vulnerability, which is a huge missing for men anyway. Like vulnerability is seen as weak. That's weird to me. I've always been vulnerable and it just works. And that's the practice we step into, is being vulnerable about how we show up for everybody in our lives, especially for ourselves, right? Huge.
True. Now, one thing that I know I have a fault of is that if I have an issue with something, I want to try to figure it out before I want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm talking about it, then I have to answer questions that I don't have answers to yet. So I'll be quiet and into myself before I don't find that to be like a lack of communicating thing. And I don't find it weak to not want to show emotion, but internally, I want to try to figure this out. Maybe it's in my DNA that's what I do. I want to figure this out before I present it to the outside world. Is that a bad thing?
So I want to break it down and Mike, I'm going to hand to you in a second, right? So you're confusing two things. So one thing is internalizing and trying to work it out for yourself. The other thing is sharing the struggle. Like one of the big things that in my relationship with my wife coming up on 9 years, June 18th, yay!
Turn up.
We share when we struggle or we don't know, so we can process it with the other person. Dude, sharing with your best friend, your partner, with Cheese, with whoever you're doing it with, it helps you get through it because they might have a perspective, which is something Mikey and I focus on a lot, is perspectives. And they might have a perspective or an idea. Alicia, my wife, drops perspective on me all the time when I'm like, wow, I didn't think about it that way. It's like you look at it from all sides. I liken it to a Rubik's Cube. When you get a Rubik's Cube, you look at it from all sides, and then you take action. But the biggest breakdown, and maybe this is specific to your life right now, right, Unique, is that sharing where you don't know the answers, because we're so busy as a society trying to get it right in life, versus sharing that I don't know are three of the most powerful words, in my opinion, that you can use. I don't know. And then that person, people in your life, can contribute, and then you can grow through it, right? You can grow through, and it's a huge opportunity. I look at it from everywhere. You can always, the opportunity for growth is every day, and we forget that. Every day we can share, we can go, we can do that. And I know Mikey has a lot to say on this too, because we talk about it a lot in our calls and what we do. So please go for it.
Like Shawn said, it's a lot of perspective, but I think Unique, like you were saying, you want to think about it so you can be able to convey it, especially to your partner. However, when you do that, sometimes a lot of people, especially if you have anxiety, you'll overthink it consistently, and then you'll create this expectation in your mind or, what should happen. You kind of take away from the organicness of it, because instead of you going into this conversation with your partner, you've already thought of everything that she is going to say. So then you already have your responses lined up instead of just being present. To actually understanding and being organic in the moment and letting it unfold as it should.
Got you.
You kind of suffocate it. You don't give it a chance. Like what you said about organic. If you suffocate it, there's no chance to breathe, right? Oh, and just for all you listeners out there, guys, just so you know who Mikey and I are as a team. So this is Mikey Tableman, guys. He's gonna blow you up at all his social media and tell you who is. About a year ago, actually, Mikey, our kind of like anniversary.
A little over a year ago now.
About a year and 3 months ago, him and I met. He's huge in nightlife. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And I come from nightlife as well. We met, we fell in love, and we fell in man love, right? I heard you guys talking about the gay community and the whole nine. We have a beautiful bromance. We're not gay, but we love each other, right? And our souls connected. So Mikey was striving to become a motivational speaker, a life coach, all the things he's up to. Now he's becoming that and being that, right? And so I got the chance. I have the pleasure of being his mentor. I am his Yoda. He is my Skywalker, and he is crushing. So his nickname is Skywalker. I call him Skywalker. So we are this tag team. And this is our first time tag teaming together live. We've done some stuff, but this is our first time. So this is our first debut of being together and just doing this organic. We didn't rehearse. We didn't talk about what we were going to talk about. We just came on. So guys, I want to introduce you to Mikey Tableman. Let
me stop the music real quick to say I want to thank you. So we want to thank you so much for having your first tandem on our show. We super duper appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mr. Mikey, what struck you that was like, I want to get into the life coaching, life purpose business? Like, you know what I'm saying? What was it eating at you for a long time, or you just woke up one morning like, I'm gonna change lives?
So this is something that we'll get a little bit more real at the moment here. I'm somebody who deals with severe mental illness. I deal with anxiety, depression, OCD, manic attacks, panic attacks. My entire life, I've battled with my mental health extremely. I grew up, I was a childhood actor. And I actually wanted to be an actor. I love being an actor because I didn't have to be me for a while. Eventually, though, the goal was to move from acting over to being a spokesperson. The acting thing didn't go as planned as usual. I got into the nightlife scene, and then my mental health really took a decline. For kind of just, it happened very quickly. I moved up the ladder, moved out to LA, got introduced to a lot of different drugs, parties, and access to a lot of things I never had access to, and stopped taking care of myself. And in 2018, I tried to take my own life. I'm a suicide survivor. And from that point on, I was like, I have to make a difference. I got myself better, went to rehab. And then I decided that I wanted to help other people that were struggling, because mental health is not something that is talked about. We discriminate against mental health, but mental health doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter your race, your color, your religion. It does not matter. I wanted to bring mental health to the forefront. I want to change the stigma. I was looking for a voice for so long that I didn't find one, that I decided to step up and be it, because I understand what it's going through. I've been in the deepest, darkest pits of hell, and I don't want anybody to ever have to feel like that. So I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to help and change. And this COVID year really helped me put my foot forward. I have a foundation called The Mind's Pursuit, which is a mental health nonprofit platform where we focus on changing the stigmas, making it cool, making it mainstream. I want it to be talked about more consecutively.
Now, with mental illness, is it something that you're born with, or is it something that's triggered from a traumatic experience?
It's both. So I actually have a chemical imbalance. So I was born with it. So, but people have it where they come around from a traumatic experience in their life, or just sometimes it builds. A lot of people this year, especially for COVID for the first time ever, I mean, yes, it was a traumatic. I think we need to identify traumatic experiences as well. People think that a traumatic experience is a death in the family or somebody at war. It's not. Everybody's traumatic experiences could be very different. As a kid, you could have been left behind somewhere or lost your family. And for you, that was insanely traumatic. So it depends on, where you go in life. But I think, especially now coming up on these past few years, the onset of anxiety has grown so much. Anxiety has jumped up 62% from the last. So it's incredible to see how it's unfolded and how large of a thing it is, but it's still not talked about. We still don't look at mental health days as a thing where, like, there's just some day, I mean, I'm sure everybody has it here as well. There's just some days you wake up and you just don't have the energy to do anything. You're just exhausted, depleted, and you push yourself to keep going. But it's like, why is it not okay to just take a day off because you're so overwhelmed, because you've been killing yourself, working so hard, or life has just been stressful? Why is that not okay? Why is it not okay to take a break? Why do we praise people who work 18 hours a day? That's not significant. You can't keep that up. You are going to break down. So why do we keep on embodying that and applauding that?
That's a good question.
I totally support Mikey. By the way, hi KK. Welcome
hi KK.
KK.
Welcome KK.
Hi Keon. Hey, Keon, this is Mikey Tableman. He's a ninja. He's on fire. And I love what he said about that, because a lot of people forget that mental illness is such a huge thing all over the world. And I love what he's doing with his movement, and what we're doing is like really bringing it to the table. Like, that's one of the things we have to talk about, like the struggles in life, right? And like, again, back to the mayhem and creating a mayhem, dealing with your isnesses in life. I call them the isness. Like Mikey, born with chemical imbalance, right? Me, born with asthma. I was born that way. Like, we have things we're inherently born with, right? And each thing has an impact on how we deal with it, how we live with it, how we feed it, how we fuel it. Do we acknowledge that it's part of us? Or are we trying to deflect from it? I call it running towards your fire. We got to run towards our fire. Thank you so much, Christy. I heard my reception is bad. I'll fix that. But yeah, we got to run towards our fire, and it's terrible. So let's shift that. I'm going to fix my audio. You guys keep flowing.
Awesome. So for Mikey, how long have you been I know you said you were into acting, but how long have you done spoken word?
Honestly, I just started a few months ago.
Stop playing.
Swear to God, I never did it. But I called Shawn and told him I never did it before. I always had a love for it. I always thought it was really cool. And I was watching the movie One Night in Miami. I've always been a massive fan of Muhammad Ali. Always loved the movie. And then I just took a couple edibles, and all of a sudden, I got like 12 or 13. I got a new EP coming out. Like, it's just something that came, and then that one I wrote. So I'll do another one to close out the show. But that's the first thing I ever wrote.
That was bars.
Dude, he called me up. He called me up out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, Shawn, I learned I have this talent for spoken word." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I can do this thing." I'm like, "All right." So literally like 6 p.m. on a Tuesday or some shit like that. He's like, "Can we talk?" Yeah. So he gets on and he just starts spitting. And that's the one he did. And it flowed so well. And I was just blown away by how amazing it was. Then he hit me with another one, which I'm sure is coming soon. But it was so, for me, it gave me this like Eminem vibe, this like underground spoken vibe, and how organic. Like your face, Mikey, while you were saying what you were saying, you were even wowed that it was coming out of your mouth. So to experience it for the first time, seeing it in real life, but then seeing your reaction to your words and your flow and how it went, it just, dude, Unique Cheese KK, it was like, wow. Oh, sorry, Queso. It was wow.
I am beside myself. I cannot believe that's the first piece you wrote. Word.
It's pretty and like, no, I try to get very creative with them. So like all of my spoken words are based on one of my mental breakdowns or one of my manic episodes or one of my mental illnesses. So I actually have one of my favorite ones that I have is called I Wanna Be, and it's just about all the things that I'm trying to do, but my anxiety holds me back from doing. I have one called Tin Man Stay Tin, where I'm talking to the Tin Man about why he shouldn't ask the wizard for a heart and explaining why heartbreak is so incredibly powerful and why you don't want to deal with it. I have one where I compare my manic episodes to Jekyll and Hyde, and I just kind of flow everything in that aspect.
That's so my favorite. I got a question. Jekyll and Hyde.
The Jekyll and Hyde one's great. It's great. I mean, all of them are great, but that Jekyll and Hyde one was. Woo.
Now, I got a question. Now, how important is it, and how do you comfortably have a conversation with somebody that you're meeting and you're interested in them and having a relationship with them? How do you bring up mental illness to them to let you know that this is what I'm, working with right now? This is sometimes maybe what will happen, or what won't happen, or like how do you set that up to get into a relationship?
So now my life is a lot different now than it used to be. I used to hold that back, especially like Shawn said, I've been in nightlife for a long time. I'm the director of operation of all the Sky Decks. So anybody who doesn't know what that is, any festival like an EDC, a Rolling Loud, a Coachella, I operate all the VIP services. I operate the most exclusive parts of the most exclusive festivals on the planet. I travel the world doing this. So I was kind of held to the standard where I couldn't talk about it. Because being in the position I was in, so I would kind of, it was tough for a while because then it would just kind of come out, or I would really avoid relationships for a long time. Now I'm very open about it. Here's the thing. Yes, there is a downside to dating somebody with a mental illness. There will be days where I'm exhausted. There will be days where I have my freakouts. However, I have the capacity to understand to such a great length. I have so much empathy and I have so much love to give because of the fact for such a long time I was not able to love myself, that I have all of this pent up inside of me where I feel much deeper than the usual person. I understand when it comes to emotions, when it comes to feelings, and I believe everybody who has feelings is valid. So it actually, now that I'm way more open about it, is actually much more helpful in my relationships.
Even in your line of business, I find that, especially for like the VIP per se community, do you ever like feel the vibe from some of them? It's like, I can see you here, you're popping bottles, you're having a good time, but I know that deep down something's wrong. Do you ever just want to reach out to them? Like
all the time. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm very intuitive. I'm very good at picking up on energies. This is why and Shawn has definitely pointed this out to me to use this more, but this is why I'm becoming so successful so quickly in this motivational speaking and life coaching world, because I'm able to just connect and kind of tap in so quickly. So I'm very much able to pick up on somebody, when they're out having a good time, and I can feel all those energies, and I pick up on all those emotions constantly. People who are out there trying to live this facade are usually the people that have that mask on the longest.
Word.
And to add to that, you can also see it. Mikey's spot on. As you guys know, I come from nightlife as well, deep in Hollywood and Vegas and Chicago and Dallas and all these places. You can see when people are dead in their eyes. You don't have to be an intuitive like myself or Mikey, where we actually we read energy. That's how we connect with people. That's why I'm kind of grateful I actually wore the shirt. It's like, but did you die, right? We make things so dramatic in life, but we don't take responsibility for not living at our fullest and our complete and expression of exactly who we are. You know, when you look at somebody, you can tell if they're off or on. If you just stop, get out of your own head, not make it about you and connect to their soul. We all have that innate gift, but we're so busy attempting to get somewhere someday, we lose ourselves in every single moment. And it's beautiful. You can see people in VIP if they're really enjoying that moment or if they're not. You can really truly see it in how they are. How they are doesn't lie.
I have a question, and then DJ MJ Beats has a question right after this. So my question for when you see somebody, let's say because I'm also in the nightlife business, and you don't have time to have a whole conversation with them. If you sense that, the deadness in somebody's eyes, what is something real quick that you can give to that person before you leave their presence?
A hug. A giant, amazing hug. Obviously, we're in a pandemic, so you have to be responsible. Just go over them and say, I feel you. And give them a hug. We just need to connect more. Mikey talked about it earlier. Connection is missing. That's my 1-2 punch.
Gotcha.
A hug, a really full one. Mikey, please.
When you're in nightlife and you're running the events like that, you have to have a certain face or facade on as well. I have to keep a certain demeanor, but I'll switch my tone of voice and be like, yo, man, let's go grab lunch. Let's do something outside of this environment.
Okay.
And then they'll know okay, there's something that you want to talk to me about. And usually they understand.
Got you. All right. DJ MJ Beats question. He said, my wife is a very emotional person and I'm the complete opposite. Why does it seem to not be okay to not be emotional?
Ooh. Mikey, you want that one?
Can I go with this one?
Yeah, please go for it.
Because it's, I think a lot of people don't, and there's a great book out there called The 5 Love Languages. And your wife being emotional, part of her love language is probably something when it comes to words of affirmation or affection. And the reason why and this is, again, I don't know your situation as well, but for her, and the way I'm reading the question is that for her, it seems like it's not okay that you are not emotional, is because for her love language, she needs that to match her energy, to match her intimacy. That's what fills her up. That's what makes her feel good. And that's what she wants to understand you more. She wants to have communication. She wants to be able to further your relationship. And she feels like if you're not being emotional and you're not being open, you're not talking about what's really going on inside of you. So how can you grow? How can you grow?
To add to that, Mikey, brilliant, dude, brilliant. And to add to that, the question, DJ Dre, DJ Beats, sorry, is why aren't you being emotional? Why are you not letting her in, right? Because you said she's very emotional, but to me, if I met her, would I say she's very emotional? Or is it just a missing for you of not being in tune with your emotions? So you have an opportunity here to deepen the intimacy. And like Mikey said, with 5 love languages, look up that book, look online, you'll find it.
They read it. They read it.
Okay, great.
That's my brother. That's my brother.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. What's happening, brother? But yeah, that's a huge one for you to look and see why you're not being emotional. What is that for you?
How does he become more emotional?
Shadow work.
Yes.
Shadow work. Shadow work is a thing a lot of people don't like to do, and it's actually a concept that a lot of people don't really understand. Shadow work is when a lot of people, when the emotions come up, you bury them, right? And you don't want to feed into it. You don't want to understand it. Shadow work is when you actually dive into those emotions and sit with them and feel it and understand it. And then you can really navigate through. So the biggest thing is, I heard a long time ago, and Kanye West is somebody that I am fascinated by, but Kanye said that his anxiety has become his superpower. And I was like, how the fuck is that possible? I can't even get out of bed on anxiety. And I look more into it, and there's a lot of people out there that are very successful that talk about this, is that Your anxiety is an energy. It's energy is emotion. Emotion is energy in motion. It's everything running through you. So if it can make you feel that bad, it can also make you feel that good. You just got to learn how to channel it and understand it. So what a lot of people do with shadow work is you really get into what those triggers are and you learn how to manipulate them. You learn how to make them work for you. So whenever I have a trigger, I'm like, okay, cool. Let me now put this into my work. Let me now write a new. Let me write a new poem. Let me put this into one of my motivational speeches and be able to teach this to other people because I'm sure I'm not the only person who's dealing with something like that.
And it's really, really cleansing to deal with it. Shadow work is so powerful. There's also another beautiful exercise to add to that. Mark, in case you want to try this one, it's called the being with exercise. And I learned it in 2003. And it's about being with somebody intimately. Literally get 2 chairs, sit in front of each other, and be with each other. And say nothing, meaning connect eye to eye, soul to soul. Practice not laughing, not disconnecting, and just being with them. The first time I did my being with exercise, we did it for 3 hours with 150. There was 300 of us in the room, and we went around every 5 minutes. We changed person and changed person and changed person. And many different transformational groups and acting groups do this being with exercise. Dude, you will find so much power out of shadow work. You will find so much power out of being with. Because then all the veneers and all the things that you are wrestling with will come up. I'll share this quick little insert about what happened for me the first time I did it. And the being with exercise just blew my shit apart. And I might get a little bit emotional. If it does happen, it happens, right? So I was with this woman and she reminded me of my grandmother. And recently at that point in time, one of my grandmothers had just passed away. And one of my other grandmothers was still alive. And I didn't go to my grandmother's funeral. And she was my Panamanian grandmother I grew up with, and she was my everything. And this woman reminded me of my grandmother, and I hadn't dealt with that emotion. Dude, it all came up for me. And I just stood there and I was crying with this woman, and she just was trying to like console me. Like, you're not supposed to touch the other person or try and help them or kind of, you just let them be. And I was just bawling. And I realized that I hadn't allowed myself to like mourn my grandmother and allowed myself to really connect with who she was for me. And oftentimes, like Mikey said earlier, we suppress so much. We gotta stop suppressing, because life is about connection and intimacy and the difference that you make every day. And that's what we forget.
Now, is there a possibility that maybe some folks aren't wired to be as deep as others?
No.
Like, just
we're all born.
Yes and no. There's a no, but there's more to it. Go ahead.
It's a elongated answer. However, we all come into this world as human beings. We're all these spiritual beings having this human experience. We all come in with this clean slate. As a kid, you know nothing of malice or hate. It's all about love. As you get older and traumatic experiences happen, people start to tell you you're not good enough. That's where it fucks you up, and that's where your ability to not be able to understand or emotionally take things in, because you're closing yourself off. So does everybody have the ability to, and they're born with it? Yes, absolutely. But it depends on what happens in your life and how you react, which then makes it to where you are now and how you're able to understand your emotions and be able to convey them properly.
I'm not sure what it's called. I think I wish I knew the term for it, but aren't there some people born in a way that like they could see death or whatever, and it does nothing to them? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that condition is called. There's a name for that.
Sociopath?
I don't think it's a sociopath.
No, you're 100% right. There are people that are born with a specific part of their brain that does not allow them to transmute some sort of specific emotions.
Word.
Yes, very, very small, and that's also a chemical imbalance of your brain.
Gotcha.
I mean, let's go into the scientific realm. So to answer your question, there's a no and there's a yes, right? So there's a no, like Mikey was saying, right? But the yes is that there are people born with innate ways, like serial killers. Let's go there. They don't feel certain emotions. That's why they can be serial killers. It's like eating breakfast to them. It's no big deal. But we all have the capacity to step into what is available for us for, the shirt I'm wearing, right? But did you die? This is an homage to us as humans being dramatic. Yes, it's from The Hangover. It's the movie, right? But we are so dramatic by nature. And we walk around with this energy of like, oh my gosh, Shawn, you don't understand what happened to me. This thing happened. And I'm like, now my joke is, but did you die? You're here, right? But you carry it like it's this thing that really, it takes away from who you are. And if you don't know something, just learn it. Learn how to be open. Like Mark was asking earlier about his wife being emotional and him not being that way. Just dig into that conversation. Ask her why she's so emotional, very emotional. Ask her how to become or open up that door. Because all she's asking, like Mikey was saying, as far as her love languages, maybe that's what she wants more of from you. How wouldn't you want to have the best relationship ever with everybody you're in relationship with, whether it's a business partner, a best friend, a wife, or whatever, your kids? So that's all it is. We are all cringing and wanting connection, especially since this pandemic has happened. We all want to be around people. I got to be with people in Vegas. It was like, oh, I got to touch my friends. Some, and like, it was amazing. Like, I took that for granted for so long, especially in nightlife. We're high-fiving, we're hugging. And the pandemic happened to stop that. But intimacy is missing from it. Big time. Big time.
Now, this is way to the left, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is a mental health thing or just like a science, physical thing. But for people who are non-orgasmic, do you think they're not in touch with a certain like part of their body to let themselves be free to let that go? Or are people just born sometimes and not be able to have that feeling?
I think it's the same. Like we just said, yes, that there are people that probably have that chemical imbalance and not the actual ability. But then I also think there are people that put up a wall, especially after maybe they've been raped or, had their heart broken so continuously that they put up that wall instinctively.
Word. Cheese or KK, do you guys have any questions?
Kesso, this is the quietest I've ever seen you, Cheese. Like, I'm seeing you. You're in with us. I've heard nothing, and your voice is epic. So come on, jump in.
I'm just listening. I'm taking it all in.
Cool.
I do apologize. It's hard to chime in while I was going in and out. Unfortunately, I was driving and I got cut out. But I wanted to hear a little bit more about how do you remedy that when one has no emotion and finds it to be not necessary versus the other needing that emotional connection? But I don't know if you probably already covered it. I'll have to catch the rewind if I haven't. But that's one of the issues that I feel like a lot of people go through. We're not in the same line in our, where our needs are or where the other person needs may be. So, how do we find that balance to find, even if it's not emotion, the other things, like how do we get in tune with any categories in a relationship that just to practice? Is that also the answer for that, to practice?
Mikey, you want to take this one?
KK, you kind of broke up a little bit, but I think I got the gist of it. I think a lot of it is just listening and being open. When you have a lot of people that aren't emotional in a relationship, and if you have a significant other who keeps on talking about it, there comes a point where you're going to check out. If it's the same constant fight and you're continually going in a circle, you're going to check out, and then the relationship is going to continue to drift. I mean, a big part of relationships is choosing the right partner. 99% of your relationships are going to fail, but you need to learn from that and understand, what you like, what you don't like. So if you're someone who's very emotional and needs a lot of affirmation, needs a lot of support, if you're dating somebody who doesn't give you that, you should maybe think about finding a new relationship.
All I could say to align with Mikey on that is that there's so many lessons every day, especially in relationships. And to deal with the non-orgasmic thing you said earlier, Unique, is like, I saw what got written in the quotes and the statements about it. There's some people who can't connect to that energy because it could be a science thing. It could be some people are just not wired to be connected to their orgasmic side. And some people from the traumas, like Mikey was saying, is that we get so broken by one thing that happened or a performance that happened, or sometime you didn't have a great sexual connection with somebody, or you failed, right? Or you're holding back for fear of whatever. Our fears tend to run our body, which runs our brains, which runs our human, and those things will get in the way. So all there is to do is to sit down and practice communicating what you do know and what you don't know, and how to get to the source of all that stuff for yourself so you can free you up a little bit more. KK, I think that kind of speaks to what you were just talking about, because you did break up a little bit, but I think we got it. It's about connecting to what's missing for you, so you can be the full expression of yourself. And oftentimes we don't do that. You know, we just don't. We just pretend we're all good, and that's why life doesn't work out for us.
I got a quick question, and then Erica has a question. My quick question is: can somebody who is in touch with their emotional side help somebody that's not emotional find their emotional side?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because when you're in touch with your emotional side, not only am I in touch with my emotional side, but like I said, I can pick up on the other emotions around me, and you're able to kind of pinpoint when you do that work. It's growth, it's education. You're educating yourself. So yes, but again, it's the other person is willing to want to open up, willing to want to make the change to become more emotional. Again, it's the reciprocation. I can tell to you until I'm blue in the face. However, if you're not willing to take the proper steps to open up to match your partner's vibration, you're going to have a hard time.
Got you. Erica said, for someone who has lived with anxiety for years, it comes and goes. When it comes back, it seems worse than before. What do you do to work through it?
So Erica, I'm going to tackle that one.
Go ahead.
So, thank you. So here's what that is. So obviously, Mikey was talking about that earlier about, you know, the ailments you deal with. Deal with what's coming up for you around your anxiety. Like I was saying about making this a monster mayhem, right? Whatever you're not doing in life that's not fulfilling on your purpose, and that's a big one too, Mikey and I talk about a lot, is like, what's your purpose? And if you don't have the things that are your purpose in your life, that's what you might be rubbing up against. So take a look at your life, Erica, and look at all the things that are happening. When you have these big anxiety breakdowns, dig and see. A psychologist could help to get through that too. I see what you're writing down there, Dre. You know, you can really look through the things that you're rubbing up against and dealing with what those things are in your life. Specifically sitting down and going, okay, when I'm anxious or my anxiety's kicking in, what is it that's triggering it? We talk about triggers a lot in our coaching world. We talk about, I call them landmines as well. Like when you step on something and it explodes, right? And all of a sudden you're like, ah, and you hide out in life, right? So dealing with the specific things that are triggering those moments and looking at how do we move those triggers? How do we move those landmines? And then putting something in to replace it that lights you up. Practice that for the rest of your month, Erica. See what comes out of it and watch your anxiety get lowered. Also, I want to acknowledge this for our control freaks / I call them control enthusiasts out there. We're so busy trying to control everything, and that's the source of a lot of our stress, our anxiety, and our issues, because we're so busy trying to be. And there's so many different attachment styles. Mikey and I talk about that as well. And our coaching is like, we get so attached to life and how it's supposed to be. This, by our design, by society's design, mom and dad told us, culture told, whatever skin color, religion you are, we got to learn to let go. And that'll like lower your anxiety to a point where you're like, wow, it doesn't even exist for you anymore. I want you guys walking on cloud 9 soon. So how that can look is removing all those things that you think you should be doing, that society told you should be doing, that you told yourself, and letting go of perfectionism. That's a big thing I've been dealing with a lot of my clients lately, is trying to get everything right all the time. And life being perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. Control's an illusion.
So
let go.
Shawn, I'm going to jump in because Erica, if you're saying it's something you've been dealing with for years, you know, you might be somebody like me who has a chemical imbalance where, yeah, my life is great. And then all of a sudden I just do a nosedive because that's just how it is for me. A lot of it for me was radical acceptance. This is what my life is like. This is what happens. You weather the storm. And you know that, you know, if there's good, there has to come bad, where, yes, you're going to be in this little funk. You're going to have an episode. However, you are going to come out. And obviously, when you're saying it gets worse, that's kind of a good thing in a sense. Whereas when you come out of that anxiety, you've grown from it. You've learned from it. So now you're raising your elevation up. But when that anxiety attack hits, you kind of do you drop like a roller coaster. So that's why it takes so much longer and hurts so much more, because you're dropping from an even higher high. But you're learning, you're growing. And there will come a point where you learn how to level those two out. It just takes a lot of practice.
I have a question, and start to wrap this up. Two quick questions. One, how do you get tested for a chemical imbalance?
That's you go to a psychiatrist.
Okay,
You go to a therapist first. Therapist will recommend you to a psychiatrist. They'll bring you in. You ask that you want to be diagnosed. They'll check your levels. They'll do brain scans, things along those lines, and they'll be able to see, you know, where the neurological functions are not transmitting.
Awesome. Another quick question, and then we'll have Mr. Mikey do a poem, and then we'll have you guys say your closing statements, and then we'll wrap it up.
Cool.
Question is, how do you help someone find their purpose?
Ooh, cool. Mikey, go. Yes.
Finding purpose is the greatest thing that you will ever figure out in this lifetime. You got to just understand what makes you tick. What are the things that get you going? When you wake up every morning, what excites you? What makes it that it's not a job anymore? That's what finding your purpose is like so many people. And then I think a big thing for people is most people feel like they have to have one or the other. They have to have a job or a purpose. Sometimes your purpose is not going to make you money, but you still have to do it to make you happy. You just got to find that thing that invigorates you, that raises your elevation, raises your vibration, that just makes you so happy that nothing else around you matters at that point. And I think when you figure it out, you'll know. Like when it clicks, you'll be like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what makes me happy. This is what raises my energy that attracts people to me.
Now, as a parent, can you help somebody find that?
Mm-hmm.
How do you help them find that?
Your job is to open that door. As a parent, your job is to show them you living your purpose. To add to what Mikey said, when you're living your purpose, life isn't work. Like it's not work. It's organic. It's what lights you up. It's what gets you out of bed. Your alarm. Like I want to get rid of all the snooze buttons in the world. I do. Because my alarm goes up and I get up so excited to be me again and live a life again and do a thing and talk to people and connect. Your purpose, it operates you. So finding, and people use that a lot, your purpose is within you. You got to stop, slow down, stop doing what you think you should be doing and dig into who you truly are. And I tell people this all the time, I'll leave you with this bomb, is that instead of telling me what you do, tell me who you are. If you can do the work to discover who you are inside, your purpose shows up and jumps into your life and you just become that. I was born a life coach. I didn't know that. I started coaching probably when I was about 16. I learned that the other day in my vacation. I was doing some meditation and found out. So I'll be 47 May 21st. So for 31 years, I've been kind of coaching. I've only been being paid for it for 10 years, but like crazy. So your purpose.
Do you guys ever see the movie Soul?
Yes.
The Disney movie?
Yeah.
Like 4 times one day.
It's amazing and it's incredible, but like when he takes 22 into the Hall of Purpose and all these different things. As a parent, if you see your kids interested in something, try it out. Yeah. If they like sport, take them to sports. If they like music, take them to a concert. If they like art, get them a paper. Like try all these different things. Something is eventually gonna click.
Yep. And we have a little agreement in our house called trying things 3 times. I tried things 3 times. Because that first time you might not like it. That second time you might fail. That third time you might fall in love with it. Or you'll know you're done. Try it all and fail and do whatever. I love that you brought up Soul, Mikey. Everybody who's on this, watch it. Soul
I love that movie.
Yeah.
So good.
And it's so like beyond just a Disney cartoon. Like they really were hitting some deep spots. And I was like, I hope people are getting this movie. Like they weren't playing around. They weren't playing around. So let's do this. Let's do this. Mr. Mikey, if you can bless us with one more piece.
Absolutely.
Actually, let's do it the opposite way. Let's have you guys do your closing statements. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll have Mikey do the speech, and then we'll have Cheese and KK say the goodbyes for the show. So, Mikey, since you're the guest, we'll have you go first on your closing statements. Turn up.
Yo, man, this has been so awesome. Unique Cheese, KK, thank you. Shawn, thank you so much for being such a mentor and bringing me on. Anybody out there, yo, if anybody ever needs help, check me out all over. It's Mikey Tableman and on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms. My cell phone number is 323-383-8039. If anybody's ever struggling, please reach out. I don't ever want to see
Mikey,
anybody.
Slow down. Say that again. Say your phone number again. That's
323-383-8039. I'm actually taking on some new clients at this point, which doesn't happen very often. So shout out to anybody here who would like some coaching. I have some open availability. Please let me know. But check me out wherever. And again, if anybody needs anything, please reach out. I don't ever want to see anybody struggle. And again, thank you guys so much for giving me the platform.
Turn up. Mr. Antonio.
Yes, guys. Simple. ShawnAntonio.com. ShawnAntonio. Cell phone number 310 428-5017. Guys, text me anytime. I actually just cleaned up some spots for some people, so myself as well. I have a couple spots. Mikey Tableman is the IG you're asking about, Young Love. So, but for me, on ShawnAntonio.com, all my stuff is there. My online school, all my IGs, all my face, everything's connected to that. And guys, like Mikey said, for me, I'm trying to end suffering, and I'm doing it human by human. I want to end everyone's suffering. Find us there.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you, fellas. Mr. Mikey Tableman.
I'm going to take you out. All right. So this one is called I Want to Be. This is actually my favorite poem that I have written. Video is dropping in June. And here we go. I want to be great. I want to be excited, and I want the birds to sing as I walk down the street. I want my life to be like a musical, and I want my words to move you, and I want to beat to the sound of my own drums. I want to be so wildly confident that I can claim I'm the greatest before I even step foot into the ring. I can float like a butterfly, but I want that stinging anxiety pricking my skin that polluted my mind and sucked all the honey from the hive. And I'm not going to lie, but honestly, it's hard to survive at times, but I'm still pushing to strive because I want to be perfect. I want every plan to go accordingly, and I want to be able to manifest within an instant where my mind projects the reality that I step into the favorite character and I can go the distance. I'm on that Herculean type of high, but this ain't a Disney movie, and I want to believe that I could wish upon a star and make all of my dreams come true, but snap back to reality. Up there goes gravity, and the thoughts of living lavishly turn to tragedies that even the Greeks would be disturbed, that Hades now bows down to me because I have showed him a new depth of a hell that has given him such a chill that it turned his flames blue. I want to be balanced in my life for just one time. See, I want to see what normal life is like, but it sounds mundane. Yeah, my lows are lows, but my highs are high that I want to be poetry. I want to be art. I want to be a voice, and I want to lead by example. I want to inspire. I want to look back and say that I lived life, that life didn't live me. And through my ups and my downs, my mind will stay on the pursuit of a better tomorrow, and I want to make a difference. I want to be part of the movement. I want to lead a revolution that is actually based on a solution. But within the states of America that claim to be united, there seems to be some confusion. I think it's time we rewrite the Constitution. And the fact that we lack equality has been proven. And the distribution of the news creates this illusion. And the persecution needs to be targeted at the institution. So I want to educate. I want us to do better. I want to understand. I want to be cultured. I want to travel. I want to see the 7 wonders of the world. And I want to no longer wonder if I'm good enough. I want to be able to believe in the potential that everyone else can see in me. And I want to speak the truth. I want to be vulnerable so others can feel like they can be honest too. And I want you to understand that it takes strength every day to keep going. That my sickness does not define me. And battling a mental illness does not make you weak. It gives you strength and the ability to understand emotions so deeply that it becomes your superpower. I want to change stigmas. And from now on, I want to be authentically and unapologetically me, and I want to make a difference. And I want to be the impact, and I want to change the world.
Yes.
Thank you.
And on that note, Mr. Cheese, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers on Sunday. And thank you, two
Moms.
brothers, for giving us these blessings. And love, peace, and happiness.
Miss KK, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Thank you, everybody, for joining us again. We greatly appreciate it. Sorry, I had to miss portion, but I am a guest, right? But thank you. Please continue to stay safe. I heard the ages are dropping to 12 for the shots, so please go out and get yourselves vaccinated and stay safe. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Turn up. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do appreciate each and every one of you in the stream. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Unique and Cheese Show. Mr. Mikey, Mr. Shawn, oh my gosh, thank you so much for your energy and your time and your lessons and everything that you provided to us this morning. Hopefully everybody takes this information and runs with it and has a total mayhem of a man.
Yes.
So thank you, brothers, so much. And
Great to be with you guys.
Unique
Hey,
and
thanks
Cheese
for
Show.
letting us debut ourselves.
Love
Thank
you,
you for
boys.
letting Mikey and I light up your lives, guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next month.
Yes, sir. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Friday on the Unique and Cheese Show.
Bye.